Hey lovers, good morning. It's such a pleasure to be back with you because it's been a little while. I've been running my 5-day Meet Your Soulmate challenge, and I took a little break and I've been away on my business mastermind. I was in Morocco last week with my business coach and my mastermind buddies, which was awesome until it kind of wasn't awesome because the week started off great. I mean, we landed in Marrakesh and I was told 46 degrees. It definitely felt like 46 degrees. Mind you, yesterday in the UK, my car told me the outside temperature was 44. So, hey, we've got African temperatures happening in England now, which is just mental. But yeah, I started the week great in Morocco last week. Had an amazing time going to I've been to Morocco a few times. So I've been to Marrakesh a few times. So I went to kind of my favorite hammam for a spa and favorite restaurants, favorite bars, just the souks. I mean, I just love it, and I come alive in the heat. Well, not that heat though, by the way. That heat is a bit crazy. I don't actually recommend going to Morocco this time of year. And I do come alive in the heat. I come alive when I get to go for a spa day. I come alive as soon as I get on an airplane and travel to a different country. It's my happy place. And I was loving life until I got food poisoning. And actually, my food poisoning coincided with we had this just out of the blue, we had this amazing weather. Then suddenly, the sky went dark, this wind came up, the sky went red. We had this massive sandstorm just sweep through. It was like everything. So we're in a villa and we're kind of poolside. All the chairs and tables and umbrellas just suddenly uplifted and went everywhere. It was like a little mini tornado. It's quite exciting. But then we lost all power and had no Wi-Fi for the next 3 days. So when you're in a business mastermind, not ideal. And that same evening, I got food poisoning. So I was kind of flat on my back, suffering, and I couldn't even watch my favorite Netflix show. I just had to kind of endure it. But hey, I got the sleep that I needed, so hey-oh. Hold on, let me just turn something off on my laptop that's gonna bug me. 1 second. Right, and I'm back with you. Hey, Emma, good to have you, darling. How did you survive yesterday? It's pretty intense, wasn't it? Who else is here live? I can see a few of you joining. Say hi, please, as you're joining. I love to know who's watching live. And if you're here on replay, just type in hashtag replay and I'll keep an eye on those of you that are catching up. So yeah, it's nice to be back in the UK. I'm loving having the warmer weather, although days like yesterday I could do without. I'm sure we all could. Hi, Annette. Good to have you. Welcome, welcome, darling. Who else has bought a cup of tea? Anyone else? Is it too hot for tea still? It probably is. Emma's saying, I love the heat, but I did pop to my sister's pool for a couple of hours. And my God, if I had access to a pool, I'd have gone too. Mind you, I didn't even want to go outside. And it's funny, I hate going supermarket shopping. It's one of my absolute pet hates. But I had to go yesterday afternoon. And in the end, it was bliss because it was so cold in there. Usually I go in, I'm like, oh, it's cold. I'm shivering. I have to wear like a jacket, going down the frozen aisles and so on. Oh my gosh, I didn't want to leave that supermarket yesterday. I was in heaven in there. It was so cool and refreshing that actually a trip to the beach or a pool, perhaps I wouldn't have enjoyed because, as soon as you're out of the water, it's hot again, right? So being Australian, I'm meant to know how to deal with these temperatures. And I had to really remind myself yesterday. And the tip, if you don't know this, and sorry if you do know this and I'm telling you something you already know, during the day, don't leave windows open for a breeze because all you're doing is letting hot air in. So you've got to close all the windows and close all the blinds before it gets hot. You don't want to close the windows and blinds and lock in the heat. That's awful because then we're in a sauna. So in the mornings, have some air coming through, but as soon as it starts heating up, close it down. So I kind of sat in darkness yesterday to deal with it. I have a coffee, hot drinks bring your temperature down. Do they? We've been talking about this. I'm not sure. I know they're meant to. Let me have a sip. He got suntan lines in less than 2 hours. Yeah, that's 'cause we're so British. I've got a pretty good tan going now, though, I must admit. Quite like it. Mm. Anyway, let's get on with the show today. I won't keep you long because I've got a gym appointment to get to. Um, I have been chatting with James and our family about an international relocation. So this has been on the cards for a little while now. I think I might have shared a while back that we made the decision that we want to go. And with these things, it's just an idea until you make a decision. We've made the decision that we would like to relocate internationally as a family. Uh, and we're staying very surrendered and open as to where the destination is. And obviously, please don't freak out any clients or anyone that you haven't heard me talk about this before. I'm not leaving. In fact, I will be making sure that the time zone is perfect for continuing on with my coaching clients and my membership and everything. Anyway, we're looking at this relocation, and James is in the process of applying for postings within his work at said international locations. And there's one location I'm not going to say right now because just want to keep that within the family and within my friends right now. Oh yeah, who's that? Come to Dubai. Me and Lily would love that. Yeah, I know. And who's that that's written that? Um, Dubai actually almost could be on the cards, but it's not going to be on the cards. Oh, it's Lisa Marie. Hi, darling. Good to have you. So, um, international location. So this particular destination we're looking at is not one that we would typically run towards, although it keeps being presented to us. And for a few months, we've been, yeah, no, yeah, no, yeah, no. And then we get to a firm no, and then we go, yeah. And it just isn't going away. And we're having lots of conversations with people who live there and people who have worked in the position that James is being recommended and put forward for. And it's looking more yeah than no now. And we were sat with, because it's a big decision, isn't it? Moving internationally. And obviously, we've got school aged children, so that's got to work. And there's the political environment at the moment to be considered, and the economic environment at the moment to be considered. There's a lot at play here, and we want to feel safe is also very key. And so we were sat with friends on Sunday talking through the options of this, pros and cons. And what we got to was this idea that for us right now, to stay living where we do, in the beautiful house that we have, that we've renovated, and we've got our beautiful garden. I mean, we've got it all just nice and perfect. We know we're safe here. You know, we're safe. We know where we're at. We know who our friends are. We have our routine. The dog knows his routine, the cat knows her routine. Like, you know, we're living this very safe life, and it's a good life. And we are very blessed to live in the part of the world that we do in the way that we do. Okay, so it's all good. And moving internationally is it's coming from a real desire-led place. By the way, there's more people joining, so please say hello as you join live. And if you're on replay, type hashtag replay. So this desire to move international is desire driven. It's not a practical decision. It's not based, although it will financially be a good decision for us. It's not based on that. It's just purely coming from this place of desire to expand, desire for more, desire to live bigger, if that makes sense. Joe's here. Hello, honey. Nice to have you. Hope you're well. And Ruth is here. Hello, darling. Hope you're dealing with the heat. So we wanna live more. We wanna experience more. My whole ethos in life is to suck the marrow out of life. It's always been that. If I go right back to when I was a little girl, my dad had a bunch of you know this already, but I'm going to repeat it for those that don't. My dad had this quote on his office wall. It was a quote by Theodore Roosevelt, and it was all about daring mighty things. And in fact, I've got, I've got a massive print of the quote over there. But basically, it goes, I'm going to test my memory. Far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to live in the grey twilight, even though checkered by failure, I think, than to live in the grey twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. I've completely screwed that up. But you get the idea. So the idea is to dare mighty things. Like you can like try and fail, right? Try and fail. And I've always lived by that motto. And I've lived to dare mighty things. Daring and mighty has been a feature in my life ever since I can remember. I've included it in the title of my book, The Self-Love Affair, A Woman's Guide to a Daring and Mighty Life. Like it's just in my DNA to live daring mighty things based on that Theodore Roosevelt quote. And so we were sat around with friends on Sunday, sort of discussing the pros and cons of this move. And Lisa Marie is getting goosebumps. Yeah, right? Yeah. So, and this came forward. It was like, this could be the biggest mistake of our life. We could move all of our belongings. We could move our dog and our cat, which I'm a little bit nervous about. I'm not going to lie. I don't really like the idea of putting them on an aircraft. I know there's other options. We're exploring all the options. A private jet is a very good idea to me right now. So anyone with a friend with a private jet that will take me, please to be letting me know. But to move our pets, to move kids, schools, business, life, everything, to rent out our home, like everything that's required for an international move, right? The mind boggles with the logistics. Imagine we get there and we're there for a few months and then we decide we can't do it. We decide we hate it. We don't feel safe. We don't like the people. Any number of things. Imagine that was to happen. And we're like, okay, what are the worst case scenarios? We're playing through worst case scenario situations that require us to have to come home. And sometimes it's really fun to play the whole tape through and look for the worst case scenario, by the way. Not from a fear place, but from a let's just get into reality. Like, if that happened, what would that mean? We're like, well, if the worst things happened, what would it mean? We'd come home. Not such a big deal. What happens if we've come home? We've had a life experience. Literally, that's all we're left with. We've had a life experience. And yes, exactly. Better to have tried and know. Exactly. So we could just carry on with our lovely, gorgeous little life here. Perfectly good. We're perfectly happy. It would require ignoring that deep desire, that something within us that's saying, go on, go do something else. Go on, get on that plane. Go on, go meet new people. Go live in a different community. Go try a different school system. Go, like we would ignore that. Now we could, but I believe when we ignore that desire voice within us, I believe we are living a soul destroyed life. Because that desire voice within us is the voice of our soul, and our soul is always calling us to expand. It's always looking for more. There's a time and a place to feel settled and safe. And by God, has my son, has my husband, have we all had years of working towards this moment where we have a home, a family home, we are settled, we are safe. Like, it's a little love bubble that we're in here, and we've earned this. We've worked hard towards it on all the levels. And there's a time and a place to enjoy the feeling of being settled. And we have been enjoying that. And now our souls are going, what's next? And if we don't go and try this out, and by the way, like this particular opportunity, James might not get the posting, and then we're going to be looking for something else. So, it's ever evolving, the situation. Um, if we don't try this out, we'll never know. So we can stay safe here in our happy little bubble, doing what we know. No, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But the desire is asking for more. And if where we go fails, if we make a mistake, and I know what I'm sharing here is relevant to everybody, okay? Because you've all got choices, you've all got soul desires, you're all scared of making a mistake in some way, because this is what we do. So if we make a mistake, if the shit hits the fan, the worst case scenario happens, and we come home, what are we left with? A life experience. And oh my God, I can just feel like the energy rising as I say that and the tears pricking my eyes. I want life experiences. Woo, I feel that. Wow. Yeah. Yes. It does sound juicy. Yes. I want life experience. There's a place for being safe and settled. That is a life experience I worked hard towards. I am living today, I am living my dream of 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was single. So let's think about this. 10 years ago, my son was 5. Oh my goodness. My son was 5. We were struggling massively financially. Gosh, that was only 10 years ago. Massive financial struggle. We were moving from place to place renting because my ex wouldn't move out of the house that I'd bought. That's another story. Um, I was so 10 years ago, my business was still very young. I was investing heavily in my personal development and my business growth. So I was massively into coaching, financially committing to that on a huge level while being financially massively strapped for cash. So that was interesting, but I just knew the only way I was going to get up and out of the hole I was in and create the life I wanted was to invest. So that's where I was at 10 years ago. I was so single. I did not believe fundamentally, categorically, I was never going to meet my person. I just didn't think it was going to happen for me. I didn't believe a healthy, happy relationship was meant for me, but it was my biggest desire. My biggest desire was to buy a home again, to make home again, to have pets, to be married, to have family, to go on holidays together, to have a business that was freaking thriving, that I loved, was really impacting people's lives, taking gorgeous trips. I wasn't worrying where the money was coming from every month. I felt abundant. I was healthy. I was fit. This was my vision 10 years ago. And I'm living it now. I didn't know I was going to share that today. That feels really good to share. I am living my vision today that I created 10 years ago. It's time for a new vision. Oh, hi, Sarah. Hope you've had some sleep. I've seen on Facebook you've not been doing well with the heat. um, uh, and, you know, where I'm at now, it's great. And I want more. And so does my husband. So does my son. We want more. And if we don't go for the next life experience, we will be living a soul destroyed life. And if we make a mistake or get it wrong, turns out that this location was the wrong decision, then we've tried it. And along the way, can you imagine the personal growth and evolution that will have to happen for us to relocate? Can you imagine the different bonding within family members that will have to happen for this move? Imagine the people we're going to meet along the way. All of the experiences we're going to have along the way. It all counts, and I want that. I want to live my life. I want to suck the marrow out of life. I don't want to live safely. I want to take a chance. I want to take a leap of faith. So this is what we're moving towards at the moment in a super surrendered state, because anything could happen. And the reason I wanted to, let me take a sip of my drink first. Hold on. The reason I wanted to share that with you today is because all of you, the women in my community, I know you want more from your life. I know you have big desires and goals and dreams. A ton of you are single and wanting to call in your soulmate, your person. Some of you are in a relationship and you want your relationships to feel deeper and stronger and more connected, more alive. And you don't get to have any of it without taking a bit of a leap of faith. And I know for a lot of you, because I hear this question time and time again, what if I make that decision and it's a mistake? What if I get it wrong? What if I screw it all up? But it's that age-old thing. You don't know unless you try. And what if the experience along the way, what if even messing it up, if that's what happens, is the gift? Maybe that's just perfect for you. You could stay where you are, play safe, do your thing. That's okay. You've got a good life. Great. But what if taking that leap and taking that chance and trying online dating or meeting up for that blind date or going to that singles event or booking that couples retreat, that intimacy retreat with your partner, or hiring the coach, or joining the Love Lounge? By the way, you're all welcome. Uh, what if making those decisions and taking action towards that, taking that leap of faith, what if, even if it goes horribly wrong, what if the decision to go for it and what occurs within that decision propels you forward and just moves you one step beyond the comfort zone that you're in? What if it works out? What if you make the decision and, like, with our international move, what if we get there? Because at the minute, to be honest, we're not that dialed in, like, being really transparent with where we're at, we're not that dialed into it succeeding. We're more dialed into what could be wrong with it and what could go wrong, because we're really checking it out. What if it was amazing? What if it did work out? Like, the place that we're looking to go to, oh my goodness, the opportunity for more travel and adventure from there is, like, extraordinary. We could actually meet some really interesting people where we would be thinking to go to. It could be amazing, or it could just be an amazing life experience that we'll have stories to tell about one day. So if you are in the place in your life at the moment where you're a little bit nervous about making a decision that you've got to make or want to make, you're a bit nervous about following that desire voice within you, your soul, you're worried about getting it wrong, then I invite you today to lean into your courage and remember the power. Remember, I'm gonna read a comment in a second. And remember the power of, and I've forgotten what I was gonna say. This is more important. Joe's saying, I'm Googling right now, jobs in France. I love it. Joe, I've totally forgotten. I was on track to say something really profound. Ah, apparently what you had to say was more important. Let go of making mistakes and lean more into taking action on the voice of your desire. If you get it wrong, great life experience. At least you know, right? So, on that bombshell, I'm going to leave you to the rest of your day. I would love for you to digest what I've just shared and make a note in the comments something that came up for you? Like, what was the aha that came up for you? What's the, as Jo is doing, she's Googling jobs in France. I freaking love that. What's the desire of your soul that has been whispering and nudging you for longer than you care to admit? What are you going to actually take action on today? And remember, the action could be, I mean, my favorite prayer, even though I don't know how to take action, I'm willing to be shown. Even though I don't know what to do first, I'm willing to be shown. Maybe you're not even sure what your desire is, but you're uncomfortable. There's something wanting to come forward. Even though I don't know what my desire is, I'm willing to be shown. Can you share with me one action step that you're going to take today? How are you going to be brave? How are you going to dare mighty things? How are you going to suck the marrow out of life? Maybe you'll share where you know you've been holding back, where you've been in fear, where you've been worried about making a mistake. Share that as well. Like, inspire each other. We're all the same. We've all got the same stuff going on, just, slightly different perspectives and circumstances. But essentially, we're all the same. So please share. I'd love, love, love to hear. And if you want to be in an environment with women who are daring mighty things, who are sucking the marrow out of life, who are taking the chance and having life experiences, because that's what we're here to freaking do, is have life experiences, come and join the Love Lounge. It's awesome. And there's a weekly Ask Me Anything call in there with me. So every single week you can ask your questions and have them answered. And having those questions answered means that you're course correcting quickly, you're speeding up your decision-making process, you're moving forward with your life. There's 2 group coaching calls a month with me. There's 2 happy hour sessions with Sarah, our community head of happiness, every month. We've got daily journaling prompts and affirmations to keep you on track that are aligned with our monthly theme. We have amazing teachers and mentors come in running masterclasses for us based on the monthly theme. Can you hear that? Like, there's so much there in the Love Lounge. And for £49 a month, imagine if you just got one question a month answered that course corrected you or sped something up for you. Would it be worth that £49 to get that one aspect of your life fast tracked? For me to have access like that to my coaches would be priceless and game changing. And my coaches don't offer this. I'm going to have a whisper in their ear. Let me just read these comments before I sign off. Kendra, hello, darling, is saying, I just offered on the house. My absolute desire. 3 stories with garden, seat of pants. Seat of pants. What does that mean? That means something else. I will follow this. Oh, seat of pants. I get it. Okay, I hear you. I will follow this, and so you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants, right? I will follow this and see where it leads me. Daring mighty things. This is awesome, Kendra. I know what it's taken for you to get to that decision, and I'm just so thrilled for you. So yay. Yay, I'm celebrating you. Sophie, love this news, Katie. It's so exciting. Yes, thank you. Have a great day, everyone. And on that note, loving you all. Big kisses. See you on the next Cuppa with Katie, which is theoretically going to be next Wednesday. Okay, love you. Have a great day. Bye.